and by making top 4, he has secured his world invite and is going for the 3-peat MSS champion.
Yeah, at this one specifically, this series of Hot Sauce Games. So, stolen a bunch of our trophies so far. Let's see if he can steal another one here.
So we saw Calvin's team last match, so we're not going to go over that too much, but Kevin's team is pretty funky fresh here. It has Xerneas, Lunala, Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Metagross, and Amoonguss. He has Triple Fairy, and he is ready to stop those Komos from dancing.
That's true. If you see any Komos, that is. Let me know, because we need to exterminate those guys.
I played at least one today, and I know there was one in cut.
No, stop running Como. Oh, that Pokemon is not good. Trust me.
So, anyways, there's a Metagross here.
There is Metagross. And,
I haven't seen Metagross at all this season.
People were trying to hype up Metagross, I think, a little bit at the beginning of Ultra, but I think in Moon it saw a little bit more. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't legal in Moon. What am I saying? I think 2018 is what I'm thinking of, guys. 2018, I don't remember that format, okay? 2018, it was a really popular Mega. I think it was maybe the best, quote-unquote, Mega until people started running Salamence again.
Yeah.
And Gengar again. But yeah, for the coverage it has, Ice Punch, Sonic Tantrum, Iron Head for all those fairies and stuff. Being pretty fast generally and having a pretty high attack stat too, or very favorable traits.
It does favorably trade against Xerneas that aren't running Cannon Power, Ground, or Fire, so it does have that going for it.
Yeah, definitely something to respect if you're Calvin here, but he does have Earth Power on that Rayquaza, and Rayquaza does overtake the speed stat too, so, and Kevin's going to have to respect that a little.
Then Incineroar is also threatening it pretty well. I'm not sure if Kevin's running Stopping Tantrum, but that might not be able to deal with that Incineroar too well if Incineroar gives it trouble.
Yeah, we see both players leading their Xerneas, but with different supports. Calvin's going to have that Incineroar, where Kevin will have the Amoonguss. And again, look at that HP stat of the Amoonguss. Probably Sash, but, maybe someone can surprise me.
So if it is Sash, then does Kevin double protect here to preserve his Sash, and then next turn Rage Powder Geomancy, and that would redirect any Roar or Moonblast going into Xerneas, or does he predict the Fake Out into the Xerneas and try to make a move, Clear Smog or Spore into Calvin's Xerneas?
Yeah, I think double protecting is definitely safe, but it does have a couple of drawbacks. Well, actually, we're not going to see Fake Out at all.
And we're not going to see Rage Powder either.
So that's going to be, both players just saying, hey, no one needs Fake Out. Let's just go for the setup and may the best Zern win here.
So we have a couple seconds here because we're assuming Calvin's also setting up his Geomancy. So how's your day been, John?
My day's been pretty good, other than bubbling. But I mean, bubbling is whatever. I still went 3-1 with a team that looks crazy.
You get to be here. You were on stream a couple times.
That's true. I got the best of both worlds
right now.
We're
not talking about stream. This is a good day for us.
Yeah, true.
So we're seeing the second Geomancy come up and raising all these 3 stats.
Do you have to note that Kevin's Xerneas is faster or just straight up won the speed tie? Actually looks like Spore is going to go before Calvin's Incineroar. So that's pretty indicative of a specific move coming out this turn. Oh? No.
It looks like Kevin's Amoonguss is faster than Incineroar.
That just means, you know what time it is, fam. It's Turbo Shroom time. And that means...
This feels like 2011 again.
Feels like 2011.
So now, Kevin has this Xerneas that's guaranteed to sleep this turn, and this Incineroar is slower than the Amoonguss, so that means this 1 HP Amoonguss will be sticking around at least another turn.
Yeah, I think Calvin maybe didn't account for the Amoonguss being that fast, but also he was pretty much just letting Kevin Spore something that turn. I don't think most people would go for my Flare Blitz will be enough for the Amoonguss kind of thing. Do see that the Xerneas is taking 1 turn of sleep, but I don't know if it's because Calvin put in Protect or just wanted to speed tie that time. Here's the Dazzling Gleam. It's going to take out the Incineroar, actually, so a little bit on the frail side there, maybe.
And Kevin just goes for the Spore, probably into the Incineroar slot, just to cover a switch.
Cover a switch, cover the Survive, Although I feel like he probably could have knocked it out, unless it was Berry, so I guess Spore's better anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what Calvin does here.
Brings in his own Amoonguss,
That
Answer
works.
Amoonguss for Amoonguss. But you do know that Kevin's is the Turbo Shroom version. So Kevin does have an option to maybe try to maybe protect Zern this turn, get damage with Clear Smog, and then try for damage Clear Smog for KO. Probably not great, especially if the Mungus on Calvin's side is a little bulkier, but we do know it's also Sash from previous rounds,
So, yeah, this is very interesting because Kevin doesn't have to worry about any red card shenanigans, but he does have to worry about Sash, and his Amoonguss isn't going to be doing much to the other Amoonguss, so it won't set up for like a Moonblast KO the next turn. So I think he's just going to get rid of it. Take advantage of that regenerator, get a little bit more HP to redirect something later.
Alright, here comes Metagross. Big and Strong is actually going to be protected from Xerneas, so again, this is one of those opportunities where, as you know, Xerneas wakes up getting the one-turn sleep. Pretty fortunate. Does allow him to get damage on Kevin's Metagross. And here again with that Clear Smog, aggressively Clear Smogging the boosted Zern is a surefire way to get rid of those boosts, you know?
So now that Metagross has taken that much damage, after it Mega Evolves, will it be able to survive a Moonblast, do you think? I don't know how much it gains in bulk, but I
honestly don't think so. I think it's not a whole lot. Plus, that was a Dazzling Gleam, we have to make sure. And Dazzling Gleam is like, not 50, like 30% weaker than Moonblast in terms of damage when spread. So I think that Calvin, if he Moonblasts into the Metagross, should be able to take the knockout. And we'll see, though, because you know Kevin still has the option to protect as well, though it won't really solve the Clear Smogging issue.
Yeah, Kevin has to attack with the Metagross here to be able to knock out this Amoonguss.
Actually gets the special attack drops. That might be enough to guarantee a survive on the Metagross here. Let's see the damage. Yeah, just barely. So Zen Headbutt is going to come out, though, for the Amoonguss.
It does have a flinch chance.
Does have a flinch chance.
We see the Focus Sash.
No flinch, though, so Clear Smog is going to clear away the boosts on Xerneas. You know, Calvin Xerneas is a little weak now. It probably gets knocked out from Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam from Kevin's, though we did see that Dazzling Gleam from Colton didn't. So we'll see how much special attack Kevin has chosen to invest there.
Yeah, I feel like Calvin here can just Rage Powder and sacrifice the Amoonguss and Dazzling Gleam, and he should be relatively safe for the rest of the game. There is potential for like a Lunala to come in and psych up the Xerneas' boost while the Amoonguss in the back takes it out, but I'm not sure if that's even viable at this point for Kevin.
Yeah, as for Calvin, he lost a bunch of his supporting team trying to get to this point, so he's not actually going to go for the Rage Powder here, just going to go for a straight Dazzling Gleam, which might be not really a misplay, I guess, because you knew Kevin was going to Dazzling Gleam this turn anyway. But yeah, having lost so much resources from that turn 1 Spore really set Calvin back in the end game here, as well as that unfortunate Moonblast with attack drop. If that didn't happen, Metagross would be gone. Yeah. Xerneas would be Clear Smogged, and your Amoonguss would actually be perfectly healthy, and with Sash and Tech too. So
and that Dazzling Gleam would have done significantly more to that Xerneas.
Of course. So a little unfortunate, but Calvin did what he had to do. He even got a little lucky on the sleep turns. So maybe just next time, now that you know the speed stat on the Amoonguss, maybe try to avoid leaning on the Incineroar as an option for the Amoonguss there.
So I feel like Kevin's going to protect Xerneas and Spore the Rayquaza. So will Calvin read that and take out this Amoonguss before it can Spore, and then potentially have whatever Xerneas and other Pokemon in the back next to it?
We do know that whatever's in the back is either 1, a Fairy type, or 2, Lunala. So I think either way, Calvin is going to be having to accept that this game is over and move on to thinking about the next game. Yeah, as we see the forfeit from Calvin, but probably. Yep.
No, I've known Kevin to forfeit in those situations.
Really?
He feels uncomfortable with how his position is, so he says, "Let's go to game 2. I want to figure out a better way to win."
Okay. Interesting. I wouldn't know that.
It's very on brand for him.
Okay. Well, he was not the one who forfeited that time, so let's move on to game 2. We didn't see either of Kevin's Tapus come out. A really interesting combination of Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele. One can assume, though, that the Tapu Koko is mostly for dealing with Kyogre, like immediately, as opposed to Xerneas has to set up to deal with it, and maybe also to deal with the Yveltal, which kind of destroys Lunala a little bit.
We also didn't see the 4th Pokemon, so Calvin's going into this game revealing all 4 Pokemon he brought because he lost by knockout, and then Kevin has that extra information of he could still be changing what he's bringing, but Calvin won't know that. So he could be playing the game differently even with the same 3 revealed Pokemon. And I think that's very strong for Kevin going into the end of this game. And I feel like it would have been maybe a good play for Calvin to have tried to pull out that game a little longer to get another knockout and force Kevin to reveal that information.
Okay, so going into the next game, I do think Incineroar wasn't really the play for Calvin's side. Really didn't get to do much, just Flare Blitz for damage and then fainted to the next attack. Plus being outsped by Amoonguss, you know, you hate to see it kind of thing. So maybe adjusting a little bit, maybe bringing Tapu Lele or Rotom to maybe control the speed a little better. Could be options, although Rotom not looking super great versus most of the Pokemon on Kevin's side. There's nothing really to...
There's no Groudon.
Nothing to really take advantage of the typing and move combination that Rotom offers.
I would like to see Tapu Lele come out. Kevin at this point doesn't know that there is taunt on that Tapu Lele. So the Lele could definitely set up it. Could taunt the Amoonguss turn 1, because Calvin's not going to be able to knock it out without double targeting it. So if they both lead Xerneas, he's going to be behind on Xerneas. So maybe bringing that Lele and fluffing a psychic move and doing taunt will allow Calvin to get Geomancy up. But obviously we don't see that coming out.
Okay, so we're going to see different leads from both players, actually. Kevin's still going to lead with Xerneas, but he's going to change out the Amoonguss for Metagross, while Calvin is actually going to rock Rayquaza this time. You know, Kevin doesn't actually have Intimidate now that I noticed it, so kind of a safe pick to bring Rayquaza now. Definitely threatens the Metagross here with Earth Power, although I'm not sure if it's a KO.
Life Orb it might be.
Life Orb probably gets close. Incineroar does have that Fake Out Pressure as well, too.
And now that it's non-Mega, this Metagross, its attack hasn't been dropped yet. So if Kevin has something that could dispatch this Incineroar, he might be in a good position just to set up with the Xerneas, assuming that the Rayquaza's not going to Dragon Ascent to it. And we see it Mega Evolving, so we're going to assume that this Rayquaza is going to be attacking this turn.
Yep. There's those wonderful, wonderful wins. One last time before we go into the PC for sure. Protect from Xerneas doesn't want to, risk that Dragon Ascent, risk the Fake Out. We actually see Double Protect, so just, block that Fake Out and make sure Incineroar has to use not Fake Out the next turn.
It could use Fake Out.
No, it could use it. It wouldn't succeed.
But it would be giving it its best.
Hey, true.
So now that Kevin doesn't have risk of Fake Out, Calvin has some plays here, and I'm not sure if all of them are good. He could definitely try to dispatch this Metagross and then bring in his own Xerneas and set that up. Given that the Metagross is most likely Kevin's best answer to the Xerneas, getting rid of it now would probably be in his back of his mind, but I'm not sure if he wants to just let it live and attack this Xerneas slot. It's already protected, so you can get good damage onto it with the Dragon Ascent and Flare Blitz. And then E-Speed, obviously very powerful on next turn.
Yeah, do have to be careful though, because if Kevin is packing Ice Punch on that Metagross, you can Dragon Ascent, but then Kevin might take advantage of that drop and actually pick up a knockout with Ice Punch, or maybe come very close. I'm not sure on the calc. Actually gets a double protect with Metagross, so I'm not sure what the option there was, but here's the Dragon Ascent, probably leading into an Earth Power play like you said, so this is actually just going to be free damage for Calvin then.
Yeah, and also, Kevin might be preserving the Metagross.
Youch!
Oh.
That's some big damage.
That's not as bulky as the Xerneas from last round.
Okay, we do see Moonblast, though. It's going to go ahead and take out the Rayquaza, but it did cost you your Xerneas, so I'm not really sure if that was really worth it in the end.
This Xerneas still has 4 hit points left, so it's not all gone.
Okay, so that double protect actually kind of saved Kevin a little. I assume this is where it's going into.
I mean, that 4 HP is really, really impactful, so it might... No, it's going for the Metagross.
Yeah, I mean... Is this going to do quite a bit of damage through Protect? But, I mean, probably still good enough health to be fine.
Yeah, I don't see anything that's going to immediately be a threat to this Metagross. So it's probably gonna be able to do damage still. He also might have been double protecting to get the "but it failed" message to power up Stomping Tantrum the next turn.
Okay.
That would let him avoid the berry on Incineroar.
Yeah. Well, here comes Xerneas on Calvin's side. Does have to watch out for Metagross having the Iron Head, of course.
So have we confirmed which Xerneas is faster yet?
I think Kevin's is faster.
Okay.
Definitely, because I've seen it pretty much move first in every game. Plus, judging by the damage, I feel like it doesn't really have a whole lot of bulk investment, so mostly should be speed and special attack.
Yeah. And then this Metagross is most likely going to go and Mega Evolve. I'm curious if Calvin just protects his Xerneas and baits attacks into it, and then does something like a Snarl to do good damage on Metagross and knock out the Xerneas.
Oh no, just gonna go for the Iron Head, so gonna do a lot here as well. Dazzling Gleam going to clean up that Xerneas. So Calvin made some decent adjustments, I think, but kind of take a big risk right there. Kind of go for the Hail Mary Geomancy, hope he doesn't Iron Head you deal. And I don't think it really worked out, as we can see.
Yeah, the damage from a 4 HP Xerneas is the same amount of damage from a 200 HP Xerneas, so letting it live there and being able to knock out your Xerneas is just probably going to be the end of the game, because now both those restrictions are gone. So there's some Moongus that we know is Focus Sash, and we know we'll go down to it from the Zen Headbutt. This Incineroar obviously has Intimidate on this Metagross, so it might not take it down to Sash now, but Kevin still has another Pokemon on the back that he can switch into. So,
and, Incineroar being slower than Turbo Shroom, too, which
yeah,
definitely puts you're going to lose your Incineroar for 1 to 3 turns if you don't fake out right now.
Yeah, so I think Kevin's play here is just protect and double protect, and then next turn potentially just Spore the Incineroar and Zen Headbutt the Amoonguss, and that should be it. Like, this Incineroar doesn't have any healing items, so its Flare Blitz into the Amoonguss is going to deal a lot of damage. It's going to have to Darkest Lariat this Metagross, or else it's going to do even more recoil, and then whatever else is in the back is going to just... This Incineroar doesn't have enough HP to take in recoil.
Alright, we can see the Clear Smog for damage, as well as Darkest Lariat for knockout. But, yep, I think, Kevin pretty much secured his victory here at this point. I don't really know what options the Metagross has to deal with the Incineroar, but like you said, no healing potential. We saw the Z-move, so no berry or anything. So as soon as you get enough damage on Incineroar, it's just Calvin's Amoonguss versus the world. And, in a world where you can't hit the Metagross,
it's not a fun world to be in.
Not if you're Amoonguss, for sure. We see the Rage Powder, so gonna redirect Metagross's attack. It's actually gonna be Hammer Arm. So, Hammer Arm gonna do, no damage to Amoonguss, drop the speed on Metagross, but Spore, again, coming from Turbo Shroom, hitting that Incineroar, giving it its first turn of sleep this turn. So.
And obviously not affected by the Grass-type Rage Powder, so now Kevin can just sort of Clear Smog the other Amoonguss. Sporing that Incineroar slot's not going to do anything impactful. I think Amoonguss just sort of sits here and clicks Spore and waits for the Flare Blitz, or even just starts clicking Rage Powder to deal more damage
to keep your Metagross alive too as well. Because really, the Amoongusses are not going to be doing a lot of damage here, so Zen Headbutt is going to miss, so if there was one way to get into the game,
there's a chance.
There's a chance,
There's a chance.
It's all going to come down to kind of like sleep turns and stuff. There's a second one for Incineroar, so...
We're just going to see Rage Powder from potentially both Amoonguss here for a bit.
That's true. Because now you can't actually Spore Incineroar until it wakes up, so you know it's going to have to get out that Flare Blitz somehow. But Metagross hasn't actually taken a sleep turn yet, so this is actually a turn where Calvin can afford to not Rage Powder.
Yeah, he can definitely Spore one of these slots, predicting a switch in, but I don't think switching is in Kevin's favor right now.
Right. He's going to take the first turn of sleep on that Metagross here, as Grass Knot coming in. Ooh, give me that damage. Oh, actually, that was a lot.
Damage.
That's like a crit. Oh, not even. I guess Incineroar's just that fat.
Oh, the Clear Smog coming out to break that sash. So whenever Incineroar...
Well, actually, the Mungus moved first on Calvin's side too, so his is also Turbo Shroom.
Oh.
Or it's just like really slow Incin.
Oh, gosh.
Some new developments here. Oh, okay, so now Incineroar is going to be in the very low health here. Taking the first turn to sleep on Metagross. Last Pokemon here for Kevin is that Lunala. So if Calvin can get...
I don't see a win condition here that is not triple protect on Amoonguss.
If he even has Protect, right?
If he does. Did he reveal Grass Knot?
I don't know. I don't think so. He has Clear Smog and Spore, Rage Powder. We don't know if he's Protect or not.
So this is going to be interesting. Kevin can obviously Psy Shock into this Amoonguss, but then Incineroar is going to potentially get free attack off, and it's just going to Rage Powder. I don't know what Darkest Lariat does here. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so now we get another little movie here. This is going to go into the Amoonguss, so I think the Amoonguss is gone because it has no bulk.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's looking like, yeah. I think the only way for Calvin to have taken this game here was probably getting Kevin to Z-move himself, and then sporing his Lunala.
Yeah, like, he would just need to distract him with some small talk and just be like, hey, you want to click that bottom button. Like...
You don't want to win like this.
Yeah, you want to win better. You want a 4-0 lead. This is a 2-0. This isn't good enough for you.
Don't actually do that to your opponent, though. That will actually get you DQ'd. We do see another turn of sleep from Metagross, so, you know, Incineroar does have a chance to do something. Let's see what the Darkest Lariat does here. It is hitting into Shadow Shield, though, so probably going to do a little less than half. Yeah, I don't know my calcs.
This Incineroar is probably very invested in attack.
True. Actually, if that was a crit, then you can actually win if you get another turn of sleep, so...
Let's see. I'm curious if this knocks out and if we can see what Metagross's coverage move is.
No, this is going to knock out for sure. It's not really bulky Incineroar, so...
Oh, and
yeah.
There's it. Looks like...
Oh, critical hit! There it is!
Such a good way to end the finals.
Yep, so congrats to Kevin, taking our trophy once again.
So that's 3 in a row. He won the finals 2-0. He got his Worlds invite today. He doesn't have to worry about anything until NAIC. Sounds like a pretty good day for Kevin.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, Calvin didn't win today, but, you know, having a finish under his belt, he's still not qualified, but he's working towards it.
Yeah, I think that's, what, 40 points?
Yeah, 40... No, I think it's... Yeah, it's 40. It's 40.
40 or 42?
40-something.
Yeah. I think that's going to do it for us for now. I'm definitely headed out. I don't know if you are.
I'll probably be playing in the Premier Challenge afterwards. I'm not even sure if we're streaming it, but I assume we are. So I won't be on commentary. I'll just be playing in the PC.